back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of makeup decluttering. I've got a healthy little pile over here of stuff that I have recently pulled out of my collection that I know that I'm not using and not giving enough love, and I would much rather them find new happy homes than basically sit and expire in my drawers. So I'm going to be sharing the reasons why I'm decluttering these products and why I've decided they're just not worth me holding on to. In general, just as like a little note on decluttering, this is something I found I'm starting to do more often than I ever used to. In the past, I would declutter maybe like once a year, but I've been really fortunate within the last year to start receiving more PR from brands, which is amazing. I am a small channel, so I really appreciate any brand reaching out to me and being willing to let me try product for free. Really what it comes down to is that I'm a person with a budget, so I cannot buy all the makeup I would love to try to review for you, so PR definitely helps me in that respect. I don't like to let it sway my opinion. I try to be as honest and unbiased as I can possibly be, whether I purchase something or I received it for free. So some of this makeup that I'm decluttering, like a good chunk of it is stuff that I've either taken home from beauty events, Gen Beauty, BeautyCon, things I bought, and things from PR. There's a healthy dose of all of that. So if you're interested in seeing what I'm going to be decluttering at this point in the year, just keep on watching. So first up, I've got some primers here, and these are, well, two of them are drugstore primers. One of them is a high-end primer. Two of these I purchased myself. One was something I was sent from a brand. And basically what it comes down to is that I have received and or bought so many primers within the last like 6 months to a year that I was feeling a little bit of primer overload, and these have been sitting around for the last 6 months and I haven't touched them. Honestly, it's probably been even longer than that, so they really need to go. I need to give them to somebody else before they expire so they can maybe get a little bit more use. This one is the Milani Prime Light Face Primer. It's strobing and pore minimizing. I really didn't find this to be pore minimizing as much as I found it to be more illuminating, and it has a more lotiony texture to it. With my oily skin, it doesn't really do anything for me, so I don't think it's a bad product, but I just don't think it's something that I personally need. Then the Maybelline Master Prime, similar kind of deal. This is a more lotiony primer. This was honestly released quite a while ago. I don't even know, do they still have this? I think that they do. I don't think that they've discontinued their Master Prime line. I know Maybelline has released so many new products lately that I haven't seen anybody talking about this at all in the longest time. I never really loved it. It was fine. Honestly, when it comes to drugstore primers, there aren't any off the top of my head that I can think of that I'm in love with. I keep trying them, hoping I could find some good recommendations for you guys at a budget-friendly price point, but it's tough. I don't know what it is about the high-end brands, but for some reason they're able to make primers just that little bit better that actually makes them worth investing in. So when it comes to this, again, I'm just not really using it. I don't love it enough to reach for it over my high-end primers, so it's gotta go. And then the last primer is this one here from Glow Minerals. This is their mattifying primer. Now Glow Minerals isn't even called Glow Minerals anymore. It's now called Glow Skin Beauty. So this was sent to me before the name change, which means it's probably old. If it's not good anymore, I'll test it out before I give it to somebody else. I don't like giving my friends or my family expired makeup, but if it's still good, this is a primer very similar to the Becca Ever Matte Poreless Priming Perfector. It has that really sticky glue-like texture that dries down very, very matte and really, really soaks up oil. I would not put this all over your face. I would only use it in areas where you have large pores and a lot of oil. And I did like it. I was using it a bit, but honestly, again, I haven't reached for it since probably last summer, which is ridiculous. So this is old, it's probably expired. I'll test it out to see, but I think it needs to not be taking up space in my life anymore. Moving on to foundations. So I just talked about this in my recent Project Pan update. I think I'm going to honestly just declutter this Fiona Styles Matte Finish Foundation Concentrate. I was originally going to try to pan this, but I have so many other foundations that I'm loving and enjoying. I kind of am like, why should I force myself to try to use this whole thing up when the trade-off would be letting my other products sit around and go to ways that I like better. So I may be able to find someone that this will shade match for. If I can, then I will give it to them. I'm not going to throw it away if it is still good and it's not separated or weird. It is a little bit older. I definitely have had it for a while, but if it still is, you know, safe to use, if it's still something that someone can enjoy, I'm gonna just pass it along to them. Then I also want to get rid of my Tarte Clay Stick Foundation. I had 2 of these. I already gave one of them away to my mom because the shade was too light for me. This is the shade Medium Sand, and I do think it matches my complexion decently well. I'm just not a big fan of this formula. I've tried to like it, I've tried to get into it, but for some reason, this just sits on top of my skin. It doesn't really melt in or dry down. It kind of feels like a layer that's just sitting on top that you can very easily move away. It looks more artificial. It doesn't look like skin. It looks like makeup. And I honestly find that it gets very shiny very easily on me. It's supposed to be more of a oil controlling, shine controlling foundation. I've never really found that to be the case. I feel like I want to like stick foundation so much that like I gave this the benefit of the doubt for a really long time. But honestly, I just don't love the way that it looks anytime that I wear it, so goodbye. And then I don't know if I talked about this in a declutter already or if I just talked about it in a disappointing products video, but this is the High Endurance Cosmetics BB Cream. This does not match me at all. It's way too light. It also has barely any coverage. It's super, super thick and heavy. It just does not work well with my oily skin. I think someone that had really, really dry skin and that was also very fair would probably like this product a lot better than me. This is in the shade Light and it's too light. So I will hopefully be able to find a happy home for this. It's not very old. I basically got this through like an influencer community at a discounted price, so I bought it, but not for very much money. And I just would, you know, rather it find a happy home because it's not that old and I've barely used it. So on the note of High Endurance Cosmetics, I actually really like their setting spray a lot. I think it's really good. I just have setting spray coming out my ears and there are a few that I haven't even had a chance to try yet that are still new. So I think I would rather give this to somebody else and be a little less selfish and give it up, even though I like it, because there are other things that I want to try. So maybe the same friend that will get the BB cream, I can send them the setting spray along as well. Then I also wanted to declutter a couple of powders. One of them is this NYX HD Finishing Powder. Lord, I've had this for a century, I feel like. I haven't hit pan on it or even come close, and I don't know, I just don't find myself really reaching for this as much anymore. It's a little stark and a little white. It does have a nice finish in the sense of it looks very smooth on the skin. I just don't really find myself powdering that much, A, and B, I don't really care that much for HD powders. So I haven't reached for this in I don't even know how long, which means it's probably a good sign I should let go of it. Now this guy here, I actually really like the formula of. I just think the shade is not right for me. This is the Stellar, what are you called? It doesn't say, of course, in the packaging because this is a sample size I got in the Sephora Favorites selfie kit that I purchased. This is like their glow powder. It's basically their setting powder and it's in the shade Glow 02. So there is one shade lighter than this and I think that would have been the one that was right for me. This, if I use it to set my under eyes, makes them look too dark. I think this would look better on someone with a true medium or medium to tan complexion. I know that Stellar Beauty was founded by an Indian woman or Middle Eastern woman. I don't remember her exact ethnicity, but I know that she was looking to make a line for people with those tan medium skin tones and find some more beautiful rich products because so many beauty brands cater to people with very light skin. So I totally applaud Stellar. I think she did a great job with this formula. I just think if I was going to use this, I would need a different shade. Now, one of the things that prompted this recent declutter was that I had gotten some PR from Pixi with their new Glowy Gossamer Duos. So those are beautiful highlighters and I had to basically clean out my highlighter drawer to try to fit them in there, and I realized that there wasn't any room, and my policy has always been if it doesn't fit, you don't buy more organizers, you gotta get rid of something. Just to help me control my makeup stash, I don't have like the big Alex 9 drawers. I really don't have that much makeup storage. I have two 5-drawer organizers that I got from Walmart that are probably about yay wide. They're really not that big. I have a couple of other like desktop organizers for my lip products and stuff, but generally speaking, I don't give myself that much space to store makeup compared to other beauty influencers. So I feel like that really helps me to keep my stash under control. So these products are the ones that I know I haven't reached for, I don't really use enough, and they should find a new home because there's just no point in me holding on to them, regardless of whether or not they're pretty. The first one is the Makeup Geek Luster Highlighter. I just talked about this in the collab video I did last week about beauty trends that no longer excite me. This is a gorgeous highlighter. I love the way that the detail is on the pan. The formula of this is really beautiful and smooth. It gives a really nice sheen to the cheeks. But this color, Luster, it's too pink. I really don't enjoy pink highlights on my skin tone, with my undertones being more yellow olive. I feel like pink just looks kind of ashy and icy and unnatural on me. So this is something, again, I think I could easily find a new home for. The same thing goes for this L'Oreal True Match Lumi Shimmerista powder. I got this at BeautyCon. I'm kicking myself because I should have taken the rose gold one home. We had a choice, and I picked this lighter one, being afraid that the rose gold would look too dark on me. But honestly, this is just straight up blue. It's like icy blue purple on my skin, which if you want like space alien vibes, you know, it's kind of cool. It's just not what I wear on a day-to-day basis. So I think this would look really beautiful on someone with fair skin with a more like pink undertone. I have a few people in mind that I think could enjoy this. But yeah, it's pretty. I've used it as like a body highlight, but I don't think I'm going to use it enough to warrant me actually keeping this. I'm also kind of feeling the same way about the Lumi Glotion. This is a natural glow enhancer. It's supposed to be like a glowy lotion. You could use it on its own. You could use it as a primer under your makeup. You could use it on the body. I've primarily used this on the body to add a glow and a highlight, and I think it looks really beautiful. Part of me kind of wants to keep it for that purpose. I don't know if I really will honestly use it enough for it to be worth it. I don't know if I'm just kidding myself by saying I want to keep this. So it's on the chopping block, just knowing that I don't really use liquid highlighters or liquid glowy primers on my face. So the only reason I keep this as a body highlight, and do I wear body highlight every day? Not really. The same exact thing goes for this Almay Make Them Jelly Highlight. This is a strange product. This is basically a sparkly, glittery jelly that has a really weird texture. It almost feels spongy. It's not liquidy at all. It's got a weird marshmallowy kind of texture to it, and it's straight up pink glitter. It's supposed to be a highlight that you use on your face. I personally would never wear it as a highlight on my face because it just does not have the kind of finish that I'd be looking for. I brought this with me to Firefly Music Festival and used it as kind of like a body glitter, and that was fun. But honestly, aside from Halloween, those are the only two reasons I would realistically wear this, so I don't really think I should keep it. Two more highlighters. This one pains me. This is the Artist Couture Diamond Glow Powder in the shade Illuminati. I got this in a BoxyCharm a long time ago, and this is one of those products that I keep telling myself I'm going to use and then I keep not using. It's a loose highlighter, and I just never reach for it. It's beautiful. It's very, very sparkly. You could use it as an eyeshadow or as a face highlight. And honestly, I just feel like, why am I keeping this if I'm never going to use it? Maybe there's somebody else that would enjoy it. So I'm gonna not be selfish and I'm gonna let it go, because if I haven't used it in the last 6 months, it's probably not gonna happen. And then the last highlighter that I'm decluttering is actually a sample of the Laura Mercier, what is this? The Matte Radiance Baked Powder in the shade Highlight. This is pretty old, but it's still going strong. It's a really beautiful, subtle highlight. If you're someone that wants a more natural glow and doesn't like that very reflective, wet, metallic look, but just wants a little bit of sheen on the cheeks, this is perfect because, as it says, it's matte radiance. So it almost has a texture of a matte powder, but it has a little bit of a satin radiant finish to it. It's got a really beautiful kind of goldy champagne undertone that looks really flattering in a lot of different complexions. I use this a lot, like I would say about 1 year to 2 years ago, was reaching for it quite a bit, but now I just have so many other highlighters I tend to like more that this has been in the back of my drawer for ages. So as much as we had a good run, Laura Mercier, I think it's finally time for us to part. Now I've got a couple of palettes here of varying types that I know I'm just not reaching for enough. The first one is relatively new. This is the Pure Sculptor palette. This one smells delicious. It's got kind of like a vanilla-y scent to it. I got this in a BoxyCharm. It has 2 really beautiful highlights and then 2 contouring and bronzing shades. So there's a couple of reasons why I'm not gonna hold on to this. First of all, the bronzing and contouring shades are very, very dark, and I think that they would better suit someone with a medium tan complexion than someone like me with a more light medium complexion. I have to go in very, very gently with them or they look crazy on my skin. The highlights are pretty, but they are a little bit on the chunkier side. They have more of a metallic finish, which is not my favorite formula. I also just got the Tartist contouring palette in the FabFitFun summer collection. So I essentially feel like that is very similar to this, but with more options. So I don't know why I would hold on to this. I mean, right down to the smell, they both smell like vanilla. There's really no reason for me to keep both, and of the 2, this is the one I like less. Then I also have this guy here, which is a custom Ofra palette that I put together, basically with all of the Ofra products that I've received from different subscription boxes, and that also came in like an Ofra holiday palette that I bought that the pans popped out. So these are the remains of those pans, and I never reached for this. These are all basically new aside from being swatched. So I kind of feel like, why am I keeping this if I'm never using it? It's definitely a waste. And if someone doesn't have a magnetic palette, they could at least use that even if they don't love all the shades inside of this. So I'm gonna pass this guy along to somebody else. Now for the eyes, I've just got a couple of things that have actually been pretty good about not buying eye products, or basically using the eye products that I have. So there were only a couple of things that I knew that I really didn't need to hold on to. The first one is this Becca eyeshadow palette. This is the Ocean Jewels eyeshadow palette. It was a limited edition product, and I didn't purchase this. I got this in my goodie bag from BeautyCon New York this spring. It's a really, really beautiful palette. Don't get me wrong. I think that the eyeshadows themselves are stunning. They have some really cool duochrome finishes, especially this middle shade here, this kind of purple, blue, brown kind of shade, and then this kind of lilac with the blue duochrome. Gorgeous. I don't reach for this enough. I have these exact same colors in other palettes, so there's nothing here. Even the duochromes, there's really nothing that's very unique to my collection. So since it's still fairly new, I've only used it a handful of times. I think it would be something nice to give to somebody else. I've only had it for a few months, so I think it's better off in a new home. Then I also had a few other Almay products that were sent to me. I did receive a PR package from them earlier this year that had the jelly highlighter I showed you earlier, some of their eyeshadows, eyeliners, and their new lip glosses. The lip glosses I actually do really like, and I'm keeping most of the shades, but these eye products, I just, again, am not like in love with enough that I think I'm going to reach for them again anytime soon. These are their little new eyeshadow quads. This one's in Pixie Kiss and this one's in Fairy Tale. These are like the holographic quads. They have some other ones in a bunch of different colors. These ones just have a more glittery, sparkly finish to them. They're fine, but they're not great. These don't pack a lot of pigmentation. They're very sheer. So if you like that very light wash of color on the eyes, you may enjoy these. I just know that aside from the couple of looks that I created with them, I'm probably not going to reach for them again anytime soon. And then these Almay eyeliners, I don't really know what the deal is with these. I think I just swatched the black one and I didn't even use the brown one, or maybe I swatched the brown and didn't use the black. Neither one of these have gone on my eyes yet. But really, I don't know if you guys can see, maybe I can insert a close-up, but this has this weird ball on the end of the liner. It doesn't come to a fine point, which I think is so strange. Like, how do you do a wing? How do you make a flick if there's like a lump on the end of this liner? It's very bizarre. I don't know what the thought process was behind that, but I don't think I'm going to use these. I shared in a video recently that I don't wear winged eyeliner that much anymore anyways. Like, I'm wearing a little bit of liquid eyeliner today because I threw some falsies on, so I wanted something to kind of put on my lash line, but honestly, I just feel like these are probably never going to get used by me, so I'm going to pass them along. And then the last liner product here, this I just got at BoxyCharm in June, I think. It's the Jante Blue eyeliner pencil in charcoal. I did not like this. This was basically like drawing on my eye with an actual pencil. It was very, very hard. There was very little color payoff. Not a big fan. I probably should just throw it away because I don't want to subject somebody else to this, but I really feel guilty throwing away essentially brand new makeup. Like, it bothers me, it like hurts my heart to be wasteful like that, but it's just not very good. I mean, it's only $5, but I've had other $5 or inexpensive liners way better than that. And then finally, I got a whole bunch of lip products. Lip products are my weakness. I have too many of them, and I can't stop buying them because there are so many different textures and colors, and it's just so appealing, and they're not that expensive. It's not like eyeshadow palettes that are $40, $50. It's like, oh, it's 10 bucks here. Oh, it's $15 here. And then before you know it, you have 100 lipsticks and glosses and whatever, and it's just a little insane. So these are a few examples of some things that I've pared down from my collection. So one of the first things I did was go through and remove all of these really light, nudie lip products because I don't think I look good in them. All 4 of these formulas I actually really enjoy quite a bit, and I'm keeping other shades of the formula, but like these particular ones I just don't think look that good on me. This is the Tarte Tarteist Lip Paint in the shade Salty. Let me swatch these for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. So this is a really, really pale, pinky nude color, and this kind of a lip product I feel like just looks crazy on me because it's way lighter than my natural lip color, and it's almost like my natural skin color, but lighter than that, but pinker. I don't know. I just feel like I always look really washed out and a little bit dead when I wear this kind of a lip product. The same thing goes for this Color Lit liquid lip in the shade Lit. Is that what you're called? No, this one's called Goals. I love this formula, and I'm gonna technically hold on to this for a little bit because I still have to write up a review on this lip formula, but then after that's done, I'm gonna pass on this shade in Goals because I didn't like the way that it looked on me. See how it's almost like the color of my skin tone? It just, I think, makes my lips kind of disappear on my face, and I'm not a really huge fan of it for my complexion. Then I have the Beauty Crop Lip Brulee in Butterscotch, and I, again, really have been liking this formula. This is a really, really pale, peachy pink. Again, just looks a little strange, I feel like, on my skin tone. It's like a little neon on me almost. And then last is this Grande Lips liquid lipstick in the shade Honey Ginger. This is an interesting formula because it's kind of tingly, like a lip plumper, except it's a liquid lipstick and it's got a thick kind of moussey consistency. So this is this one right here. Again, that same kind of very pale nude. I think it looks really, really beautiful, this kind of shade, on some people. Just not me. So I also posted a video probably a month or so ago about the new Carity Lip Lock liquid lipsticks. I got sent 8 of 16 shades. I've already given away a couple. These are 2 more that I'm decluttering. There are 3 that I'm keeping that I love. I just knew I didn't need to keep all 8 of them since I already reviewed them and did a lip swatch video. I like these shades. This one is Tea Leaves and this one is Candied. I think they both look really pretty on me. I just don't wear red enough to justify having a million red lip products. And this shade, Tea Leaves, it's a little more grungy and dark than I would normally wear. It's a shade I might rock in the fall, but I have others similar that I think I like better, so just gonna find a new home for those guys. And then last but not least, I've got a couple of lip palettes here. These are both really nice. I just don't ever use lip palettes, so I don't know why I would keep them. This one I got in FabFitFun. This is the Ish Lip Statement Palette. It has a little lip brush inside, and the colors in here are really pretty. This orange is like calling my name. The formula of this is like a melted bullet lipstick. It is quite pigmented and opaque, but it's also very creamy. Some lip palettes, the lip product inside has a hard kind of balmy texture with no color payoff. That's not what this is at all. I think it's actually really, really nice. I just know, again, I'm having a hard enough time as it is going through the lip products I have. What are the odds I'm going to reach for this? Not to mention the fact that lip palettes are just not very practical for everyday use. Am I gonna put this in my purse and carry it with me to reapply? Probably not. This one is the Pixie Dulce Candy Sugar and Spice Lip Palette. Again, really, really pretty shades. The formula on this was surprisingly good. You can also use this as a cheek palette, which I think is really cool. I played around with it a bit. I enjoyed it. The formula was nice, but again, if I'm being honest with myself, the odds of me reaching for this on the regular are pretty slim, so I'd rather give it away while it's still relatively new. So that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me while I share all of my decluttering madness. It always feels really good just to get reorganized, to make some space in my beauty collection for new things, and to not hold on to stuff that I know I'm not using. Honestly, the more and more that I declutter, the easier and easier it gets to let things go, because you just develop this sense of honesty with yourself of like, if I haven't reached for this in 6 months, what's the likelihood that I'm ever going to reach for it again? If you guys enjoy decluttering videos, give this one a thumbs up. I always really appreciate your support. And if you're not subscribed to my channel and you want to catch more of my videos in the future, make sure you click that button before you go. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so I really hope to see you back here again in the future. On an aside, if you're liking this makeup look, I just filmed a tutorial / getting ready with me type video on how I created this look. I don't know if it's going to go up before this video or after it. I haven't really decided yet, so I will definitely link that tutorial for you guys in the description box of this video one way or another whenever it's live. And other than that, I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.